Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's a off day today, and it's working on the Benz, working on the steering column, actually specifically the shifter. I've already fixed it, but I got to take it back apart and grease it and put it together right, so I'm gonna film it. Outside of the factory drawing, I didn't really find anything on on the internet about it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's like taking it apart that I know of. So I took it apart. So the first problem I had is it was hard to shift. First off, this is the 4-speed. So if you know the American 3 on the tree, this is a 4-speed. So it's 4. You have neutral, back and forth. Think about it. If you're looking at it from this way, let's say you're shifting, you're sitting here, you're looking this way. It's kind of like shifting. There's first, second, third, and fourth, and then reverse is towards you and then up like that. That's reverse. And then that right there, there's an interlock that will not let you like speed shift it into reverse. But anyway, so it's fixed. It's shifting rough because I'm not rolling and I'm not standing on the clutch, but it is working now. So I'm gonna show what I did. So first, the problem was it was hard to shift. This thing was not consistently in the right place, going this way. In and out of gear, it worked fine. It's just selecting whether you wanted the 1-2 slot or the 3-4 slot or the reverse slot. And what it was doing is when I tried to find neutral and I would push the stick forward, it would actually pop the this pin out. You could see it. It's not moving back and forth. It's not popping in and out. And what it was doing, this is the horn ring. So the horn ring just sits in there like that. And when I pushed the stick, there was so much slap in that little pin, the shifting pin, it would push the bottom of the horn ring, and it would toot the horn every time I go to move the shifter, or I was shifting in the parking lot. It would go bat, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I figured it out. I thought the column was broke, so just to make it road legal, I popped the ring out and I hooked up a switch, separate switch. So this is the horn button ring. And then I ultimately took off, when I got the new steering wheel, I took the horn ring off of the steering wheel. Anyway, so I'm going to get to it. I'm going to show you what happened. So the bearing is taken out. To get this aluminum piece out of the column, you need to disconnect the 2 contacts for the horn. Pull this on. This thing just sits in there. It doesn't screw in any way, shape, or form. You have to unscrew the blinker switch off because it screws onto this aluminum piece. The aluminum piece itself has 2 Allen screws that hold it. I already have them loose, and when you get those out, they look about like so. Got 2 of those. So it doesn't come out this quick because you have the bearing in there. And the bearing, my bearing was seized to the actual steering rod. And I had to like hold the collar. This collar was loose. I had to hold the collar and tap the thing, and eventually tap the bearing off of the the steering shaft, I have to take a little scrubby thingy and polish the steering rod there so the bearing goes on and off. And it was the inner diameter of the bearing that was sticking to the thing. The outer part, it has a giant C-clip like that. That part came right out. This one's actually broke. The slot for this is half of it's missing, and it was because this thing was popping out and it actually pushed on the C-clip and it busted all of this out over time. Anyway, so to get this out, you got to pop this little thing out of here. You got to rotate it the proper way. I just use little vice grips like that. See if it'll stay there. And it's just a little keeper, and it just comes right out, or should. Oh, it's in the slot. That's why I gotta get it to like that. So you see it coming out. It just slides out, and it's got it's a straight thing, and this thing's also got straight things. So you have to line it up for it to slide back in. I've got some washers in there. So those are going to come out with it. And those are 2 1/4-inch washers that have been drilled out. They're used as spacers. Actually, they just popped out, so I can show them to you. One of them popped out. Basically, it's a drilled out 1/4-20. Fits over this pin here. What happened was this guide pin, I'm going to pull all the rest of these washers I stacked in there. Just like that. That's what I stacked in there. 3/4-20 washers and a spring washer. So I think in here, this part, on top of this, let me try to hold that. Like right here where I had the washers, I think there was some sort of a bushing that was not metal. It was either bakelite or plastic or whatever there's a term for it. It's in the manual, but I forget what it is offhand. I'll try to find it and put it in there. That thing brittled up and fell out. And that's why this pin got all this crazy slap in there, right? So what happens is that pin with the bigger diameter pushes through the spacer. It pushes on the back side of this hole right here, and on the other side there's a keeper, and it keeps that pin from being stationary. So you would have see if I can do this. So you got the pin, right, and you would have the bigger diameter here and the keepers here, and it would just be stationary. It wouldn't move. But since that spacer was gone, that inner pin actually moved back and forth and caused the shifter to have a lot of slap in it. And to make it worse is the little keeper piece on the upper side that I showed you. This thing, when it popped out, it would actually hook on to the snap ring. It's like located next to it, and it would come out and sometimes hook on, and it didn't want to go back down, and it caused this shifter stick to actually be in a different position every time I went to shift. It was like crazy. Anyway, so what I did is I don't have the right material for the spacer, but I just drilled out 1/4-20 washers, because the outer diameter is just perfect to fit into this housing right here. And that eliminated the slap that I had. I could have machined it out of whatever it was, but anyway. So when this is fixed, now I'm gonna unhook the wires here and put the wires back through here and actually hook up my horn button. And I'm gonna install the horn ring if I can find it, because I don't know where the hell that went. Probably walked its way over to the shed. But anyway, so right now I'm gonna get this switch out of here and get the wires out for the horn, put them back where they were, clean up this part for the bearing so the bearing can, slip back on, and reassemble it. Anyway, I need my headlamp and my glasses. Old age, so I can't use my head camera. These are the 2 wires for the horn, and that's where the bearing goes. You could see this stuff right here at the bottom of that, right here. I think this is that plastic stuff that the bushing was out of. It's not magnetic, it's some sort of a composite material. Put some oil on that and kind of work it in there. If you have a nice car, you probably don't want to put oil all over the place, but this thing's junkyard status, so it's all gonna get taken apart at some point. Anyway, so that's that. I had I had 2 washers in there with a what do you call it, like a spring washer, and then this part goes on there just like that. I get the wires out. There's one of my other washers. There's that. I had 2 washers underneath, 2 washers on top with a spring washer. And do that. Put that. And then the little clip. I may have to line it all up. So I'm going to take my vice grips, and that'll help me line that pin. I think it was like that. It's starting to go. You can see it going in there just like that. And now we put the Allen bolts in there. Get these bolts in there. The little ratchet. Snug those in there. Think I'm missing a washer because it's sitting right here. So let me put that in there. Yeah, I can fit one more washer in there. We'll get the clip out. Got to put the camera down real quick. Anyway, so there's all the washers in there. So now there's reverse, clutch. There's reverse. There's first, second, and third and fourth. So now it actually works really well. So now we slipped the bearing in there. I washed it and I greased it. I may have to tap that in. with a socket of some sort. Anyway, the bearing's in there now, so I'm gonna put the clip back on, just like that. Now we put the outer clip in there. This has got to go in there like that. There we go. Now it's not interfering or coming up past the clip. So this is all together. Now we're gonna drop the horn ring in there. I need a flathead screwdriver. Anyway, forgot to film again. The steering wheel's on. We have a horn ring that works and a shifter clutch. It's second, first, third, fourth, and reverse. So now it actually works. So I'm gonna, there's one more thing that it needs to be addressed. I think in here, underneath this thing, there was a plastic washer to take up this slap. That part is gone, disintegrated. It's now dust of some sort. It's like the little sink thing, and something synthetic. I may have to machine a plastic washer, but maybe I can stack some rubber O-rings on some oil in there. We'll see. But I don't have a plastic thingy that'll fit in there unless I fabricate something out of something. I think I just found that something. Just need an old water bottle. Alright, so here's the bushing I made out of a water bottle cap. See if I can get it on there. But anyway, that's what's left of the cap. So you can kind of see it somewhat conforms to that. Now I just got to slip it onto this side. See if I can do it without... Put some gloves on would probably help. Hey, look at that. Kind of put it like that. Reshape it back into the thing, and I think this thing is just gonna sort of fit in there. I think. Might need to scrape out the old crap out of there. That'll probably do it. Just scraping some of the old stuff out that has pretty much turned to powder, like that. Grease it up. See if we can screw this thing back in there. Doesn't help when you get oil all over it. Can't grip it. To get this thread started. Get me an all-millimeter wrench. Third and fourth, first and second, and reverse. I think we're ready for a test drive. Alrighty, seat belt. Let's see, let's go do this. Contact. Find that reverse right away. Brake check. Got a horn ring. Blinkers. Yep. All right, garage. And that's first. Wow, that's like right there. Man, look at that. That is sweet. See if we can find first again. All right. There's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. Man, that is tight like a tiger. Look at that. Back into 3rd. Navigate this corner here with my blinker. See if I can get down into 2nd. Look at that. Do a 1st gear. Yeah, it's right where it's supposed to be. Let's try reverse real quick. Look at that. Reverse. Forward. This is nice. And there's 3rd. Need more fuel. It's a little cold-blooded. Come on, Betsy. There we go. Rotate this. Give you a little bit of windshield view. Man, this thing is nice. Now when I come up this hill, I can actually find 3rd gear. Like perfectly. And there's 4th. Try 1st gear real quick. There we go. Man, this thing is, it's pretty nice. That's as nice as it's ever been. Glad I figured that out. A couple of quarter 20 washers fixed the problem. So I want to do a road trip with this down to the desert. I want to go up through Julian, down into the Scissor Crossing, and then back up through Borrego Springs, up through Ranchitas. I'm still waiting for some oil additive before I want to do the run. And I got 3 more shocks coming. I had one blown out, had to replace it. It was unsafe. It was 15 bucks. Found another one for 25, and I found the 2 rears for 60 bucks for the pair. I want to get all that swapped out before I take the longer road trip. guy actually let me go by. Guy in another Benz. And I was able to find first gear when I stopped. So that was one of the harder things to do. When I come to a stop and I gotta find first, it was hard to manipulate it. Now it's just right there. But like I said, I'm getting used to the stick being offset a little bit. So it's just character of the car. Gonna go down to the gas station and splash a couple of gallons of gas in it. Pretty stoked that this thing fixed. Definitely gonna reclock the steering wheel though when I get back. Just one notch. It's gotta be like perfect. Otherwise you're lopsided in your mind. Let's see if we can find a pump here. Splashed like 2.5 gallons in it. Very nice. This shifter is nice. I'm gonna tweak that steering wheel real quick. This part's broke, so it just sits there. It doesn't like do you know, it just sits there. Doesn't clip on. Let's see, get this thing popped off. Go one click. Right there. Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round for another spin. Contact. That's a little closer to the center. I like it. it works. It was a success. I'm gonna hang this up and enjoy the rest of the ride. So thanks for watching, and until next time, rolling with the boys. Say hi.
Hello.
I had to make I made another adjustment to the linkage because it was too far off for me, and now it's a little closer. Or more like where I'm used to it when it was broke. So now it's like